Hello everyone, ex-Wallkill Bethel here. And with the coronavirus and people staying indoors, and some people not having money, a combination, not having money and being confined, give you the feeling of what it was like at Bethel. At Wallkill, you're working, and you're working not for money, but for free, essentially. For basically room and board. And I don't think people can really grasp what it's like to work for free. The sacrifice. Do you really know what the sacrifice of being a Bethelite is really like for some people? For me, I'm very adventurous. I've been to different states. I like to travel. I like to explore. I like to do things. So for me, going to Bethel, not having money for years, not having money to go and do anything, to really go and just see a movie, understand the sacrifice. Now people understand it because the movie theaters are closed. There is no movie theater. Would you like to go to a movie? Well, there's no theater. Would you like to go to a fair or do something fun like that? There is no such thing. You see, people are quarantining because of the virus. And during that quarantine, possibly now, you have people that may have a little bit better understanding of what it's like to not have anything to do. To have a strenuous work schedule and not have anything to do. People now are probably starting to understand what it's like to not have anything to do, even though they may go to work, they have money, they can still go and, go to the store, go get things, still go do some things. They may have Netflix, they may have their phone, they can go online, they can do all kinds of different things. You have that as an outlet. That's something that you have, that even though you can't really go out, well, you got all these electronic things. I didn't have that when I was at Bethel. For a while, I didn't have a cell phone. I only got a cell phone because I ended up being stranded. My car died on me, and I was stranded in a rural area at night with no phone. I walked back to Wallkill. That's the reason why I got a phone. But the point is, I didn't have that. I didn't have, I didn't have a Facebook. I wasn't online. I didn't have Netflix, Hulu, video games. I didn't have all of those things. And I was in a similar situation where there isn't anything to do because I'm at Wallkill, at the compound, where Watchtower owns everything around. It's rural. There is no, it's not like Brooklyn where you can just walk around the city. You just be walking around through a farm. That's a sacrifice, to be in a situation where you're working, but you don't have money to do anything. How many of you are enjoying not having nothing to do. If you're enjoying it, it's probably because you got things to watch on TV. You got other things that you can do. But keep in mind, most likely, I didn't even have that. So I was going through homesickness, didn't have nothing to do, couldn't just sit and go watch TV, couldn't even just go to my room and have peace and quiet. Some of you guys may say, well, hey, I like the peace and quiet. I can sit in my room, enjoy quiet, read a book. At Bethel, my room, my whole room was probably the size of your dining room. And I had another person in there. I didn't even have a room to go to where I could just have quiet. That is a sacrifice. Now that people understand because of COVID-19 what it's like to not have anything to do, to have to be stuck in the house, that gives you a percentage of an idea of what it was like at Bethel, at Walk Hill, for me, personally. I'm stuck in a little room with someone else that I didn't particularly get along with. We didn't have big, giant arguments. But we didn't really see eye to eye. We weren't similar at all. That is a sacrifice. And to do it for years, we have experienced this isolation. We've experienced having to stay inside. We've experienced this for a number of months. I wasn't at Bethel for months. It was for years. To experience that for years. Now you understand the sacrifice. Why is it important for you to understand the sacrifice? It's important to understand the sacrifice for you to understand that people did not go through all of that thinking that they were just going to get sent away. You don't go through working for years for free with no money to do anything you want to do, with no room. You don't even got a place to go to just have peace and quiet. You ain't got no place to just go to be away from people. Ever, for years, you ain't got no place to go. When you're going to your congregation, you're supposed to carpool. You're supposed to have a whole crowd of people in the car with you when you're just going to your congregation. To give up all peace and quiet, to work full time. Not only am I working full time, but I had additional duties. I was working over full time. Additional duties, and I was on call. When we had a truck come into our truck dock, I had to go. I'm working more than 40 hours and not getting, and after working over 40 hours, you want to just be able to unwind, and you can't. To go through that, and there's people that have been there longer than me, for them to go through that for years and years and years, and Watchtower, for them to show their appreciation by just saying, y'all got to go because we got to make money selling all these buildings, gives you an idea or a glimpse of how unloving, uncaring, and how Watchtower, the Jehovah's Witnesses, just use people. How the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses just use people. It's not like Watchtower had no idea of what that sacrifice was like. It's not like they had no clue what it's like to be in a little room with someone else. You don't have no place to go to just be alone and read a book or anything like that. I went to the library at Walk Hill. Walk Hill had libraries. I went to the library to just sit and kind of just have a moment to think, to just have some quiet with my thoughts. People would go in the library loud as all get out. Bethel is just flooded with people. There ain't nowhere you gonna go and get away from them. There was a place on the roof of one of the residences where you can kind of overlook the courtyard. I would try to go there to get peace and quiet. Don't you know, there was probably like 15 other people trying to get the same thing, and they're all there too. You can't get away from people ever. And a lot of people didn't have bathrooms, which meant you can't even take a piss in peace. You give that up. You mean to tell me people did all of that thinking that the sacrifice would just be for nothing? Obviously, we were under the impression that we're going through all this. The least we could expect is that we would have the room and board we worked for for as long as we conducted ourselves appropriately. It's not asking too much from Bethel, from the Jehovah's Witnesses, for you to receive the room and board that you have worked more than full time for free to receive. It's not too much to ask from Watchtower for you to be able to receive the peace of mind of at least knowing that you aren't going to wreck the car, but the peace of mind that you're at least have a place to live. Because you work for free. On top of your job, you got watchman duties. You got dish duties. You got other things you got to do. I auxiliary pioneered at Bethel. There were times I had zero time to myself. Bethel expects all this. Jehovah's Witnesses expect all this from you, but they can't even give you the room and board you work for. Explain to me how this somehow is even Christian, let alone God is focusing on just that one group of people and leading that one group of people to do things like that. It makes no sense. But now that people have experienced COVID-19, they've experienced having to stay in, and people, they couldn't take it for a month. There's people that after a month, they were losing their mind. Imagine what I had to go through at Bethel without being able to just watch TV, without just having a place of peace and quiet to just go to and relax. Now you understand the sacrifice. Now you understand the upset when Bethel or Jehovah's Witnesses could not keep up with their end of the bargain. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. It's not just Bethel, it's what you do to get there. You had to pioneer, you had to sacrifice to even get to the point of sacrificing at Bethel. So comment down below, let me know what you think. X-Wall Kill Bethelite, signing out.